Hello, this is Stacy, and welcome back to another episode of Chargers Talk 4630. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep the latest content. I appreciate that. I've got a good night's sleep. I watched the game again on All Access. I got to tell you, it was no different from watching it Sunday afternoon. Today, we're going to take a step back and look at what's going on with this team through a clear, level-headed lens, right? This isn't an overreaction episode. It's not about anger or finger pointing. It's about understanding what happened, why it happened, and what it means moving forward. There's a lot to unpack from this last game, and I want to approach it from a place of honesty, logic, and fairness to the team and to the fan base. So let's take a calm, steady look at everything. To start this conversation, I want to be completely real and transparent. I got friends of mine that I've been talking football with for almost 30 years. Every week during the season, we have the same conversations. But this week, man, I heard it all, right? Season's over, throw Greg Roman away, fire Jesse Minter, defense is trash. It's easy to jump online or hop in a group chat and just trash everybody, right? Anybody can yell and say he's trash or fire everybody. But I want to do something harder, actually talk solutions. What do they do to fix the problem? That's the conversation I want to have on this podcast. That's the conversation I want to have in the comments. That's the conversation I want to have with people I talk football with every week. We all watch the same game. We all know what the issues are. Me going on a rant doesn't fix anything. So I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I just want to have a real football conversation. Sometimes the emotional reactions drown out the actual issues, right, that we need to talk about. The Chargers didn't just lose, they did a complete no-show. That's the truth. Jacksonville came out ready, and we just didn't match it. I knew the Jaguars were going to do everything they could to win this game. But what I did not expect was the Chargers putting out one of the flattest performances I've ever seen. I didn't see this coming. I thought this team was better than this, and I was stunned at how unprepared and overwhelmed they look, right? Justin Herbert being held to under 100 yards passing. Jacksonville had 31 first downs to the Chargers 8. You don't win football games with that kind of imbalance. You can't even be competitive. And Trevor Penning, he was inserted in the lineup, but he didn't help at all, right? He even got benched in the third quarter for the very player he replaced. The offensive line was disconnected, inconsistent, and it showed on every series. Now, let me say this. I've always had strong beliefs in certain things, and that belief has carried me through a lot in my life. But belief don't automatically produce results. There are things that work for me. There are things that work for you. But I know belief alone isn't enough. You still have to put in the work. And yesterday, they didn't put in the work. Now, injuries are a major issue. I'm not making excuses. I'm not taking anything away from Jacksonville. I'm not taking anything away from the teams that beat us in recent weeks. They played better football than we did. Period. They earned those wins. But facts are facts too. Losing Najee Harris for the season, losing Amari and Hampton for several weeks, it hurt. We took a gamble on Mekhi Becton, a guy who played 15 games for the Eagles last year, helped block Saquon's historic season, and was a beast in the playoffs. But the expectation was that he bring that same force here. But instead, he reverted back to his old inconsistencies he had with the Jets. Let's start there. The offensive line play is bad. Outside of Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, it's rough. The injuries are what they are. They're one of the biggest reasons we haven't been able to build on any kind of success that we had early in the season when we were 3-0. Now, let's address Greg Roman because everyone is talking about him. Look, I was never crazy about Greg Roman from the very beginning. One of my best friends is a lifelong Ravens fan. And for years, he has worn me out telling me how Roman held that offense back. Hey guys, I got to put you on to something I've been checking out. It's a company called Distill Union. They make these slick minimalistic wallets and magnetic key organizers, right? That just makes life easier. And get this, I've got an exclusive 20% off just for you. All you got to do is go to distillunion.com, make your purchase, and don't forget, when you check out, use my code ChargeTalk4630. I earn a small commission when you use my code, so when you buy, you're not only supporting me in the show, you're getting the best deal they offer. Predictable passing games, stale concepts, only great in running schemes, not creative enough for someone as talented as Lamar Jackson is. I get the frustration. I see people calling for everybody to be fired. I understand where that emotion comes from. But firing everybody tomorrow, it doesn't fix the actual issue. Anybody can point fingers. What's harder and more valuable is understanding the problem and talking about real solutions. Has Greg Roman been great? No. He has taught this team how to run tough, how to control possessions, and fight through adversity early in the season when things or other teams would have collapsed. He's still on the payroll, so I'm rooting for him to succeed. Because rooting for him to fail means rooting for the Chargers to fail. And I'm sorry, I'm just not doing that. And look, we're still a long way from being the Buffalo Bills. We're a long way from the Chiefs ceiling. We're a long way from where the 49ers and Eagles are. This is still a building process, a transition year. There's been growth, and there's also still a lot of room and a lot of work to do. Now, let me talk to the fans because you all made valid points in the comments. I see your frustration, and you're not wrong for feeling the way you feel. You're entitled to feel the way you feel, and it's your right. I would never try to take that away from you. But for me, I don't just walk away when things get tough. That's not how I move in life. If I quit every time things got hard, how could I have ever been a Charger fan for almost 49 years? The word fan comes from fanatic for a reason. In our own way, we're a little weird for letting a team that doesn't know us personally affect us this way, right? We invest time, energy, emotion, and money, and we react like we're part of the organization. Logically, it makes no sense. But emotionally, it does make sense. That's exactly what makes sports beautiful. It's loyalty, it's passion, it's sticking through the storms even when it's uncomfortable. That's why I'm still here 49 years later. That's why you're still here. So now the question becomes, where do we go from here? How do we fix this? Can this be turned around in time to fight for a playoff spot? Or do we accept that this might just be the year where we have to learn, grow, adjust, and prepare for the future? Because it's not about who's right or wrong. It's not about who's been a fan the longest, but it's about what we do next. It's about solutions. It's about adjustments. It's about staying committed to this team no matter how tough it gets. It's about having the conversation, learning from the mistakes, and figuring out how to move forward as fans together. Because at the end of the day, that's what being a fan is really all about. So I want your input. What do you think the solutions are? What do you think the solution should be? What adjustments can be made right now to you? Let's talk about that. Drop your comments, and we can continue to converse and support each other, right? The same as we do when we're beating another team's tail, and we come on here with all these feel-good conversations, right? And we talk about it. So who's with me? Okay, Boat family, that's my breakdown. Honest, analytical, no ranting, no throwing in the towel, just football talk. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you for commenting, challenging me, and pushing the conversation forward, right? Drop your thoughts below. Let me know your solutions and where you think we go from here. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because you always get the realness from this podcast. This is Chargers Talk 4630. I'm Stacy. Stay safe, stay grounded, and as always, boat up.